Here's something almost no one talks about enough. After 60, your eyes and your brain don't fail overnight. They slow down quietly. Not disease, not dementia, just everyday changes that creep in. You wake up with cloudy vision that takes 10 minutes to clear. You walk into a room and forget why you're there. You stare at a screen and your eyes start burning after 5 minutes. This isn't just getting older, and it's not something you're meant to accept. Here's a fact that may genuinely shock you. Recent findings published in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging revealed that over 92% of adults over 65 are deficient in at least one critical nutrient required for eye and brain repair. And that repair happens at night, not during the day. That means every single night, while you're sleeping, your brain and your eyes are trying to rebuild, but they don't have the raw materials they need. Memory circuits stay weak, eyes stay dry and tired, and almost nobody is talking about it. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you found this channel. And if staying sharp, clear-minded, and independent after 60 matters to you, I encourage you to subscribe. Because today, we're talking about juices, but not the kind most people think of. These are 4 natural drinks that science now shows can help recharge your brain and vision while you sleep. No supplements, no pills, just real foods, blended correctly and taken at the right time. It sounds simple, and it is, but the effects can be powerful. I've watched patients move from daily brain fog and eye strain to waking up clearer, remembering more, and feeling mentally refreshed, simply by adding the right juice to their evening routine. So let me show you what's really happening inside your body and what these 4 juices can actually do. Let's start with the first one, and probably the most underestimated. If you asked me to name one juice most people over 60 completely overlook, it would be carrot juice, and they really shouldn't. Carrot juice is one of the very few natural drinks that directly supports both your eyes and your brain at the same time, specifically your retina and the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for memory, focus, and decision-making. Here's why that matters. Carrots are loaded with beta-carotene, a compound your body converts into vitamin A. Vitamin A is absolutely essential for maintaining the health of the retina, especially the photoreceptor cells that allow you to see in low light. When vitamin A levels drop, these cells begin to weaken. That's when symptoms like night vision problems, blurry sight, and dry, irritated eyes start showing up, all extremely common after 60. But that's only part of the story. Carrot juice also contains lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 powerful carotenoids that protect the macula, the part of the eye responsible for sharp, detailed central vision. These compounds don't just slow damage, they help the eye recover from years of oxidative stress caused by screen exposure, UV light, and inflammation. Now let's talk about the brain. Carrot juice contains falcarinol, a natural plant compound shown to protect neuronal membranes and reduce inflammation in brain tissue. This is critical because chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the main drivers of memory decline with age. A study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience in 2021 found that older adults who regularly consumed beta-carotene-rich juice showed measurable improvements in working memory and cognitive recall, especially those already experiencing mild cognitive decline. In that same research, participants who drank about 250 milliliters of carrot juice daily for 8 weeks improved their visual memory scores by 13% compared to the control group. That may not sound dramatic until you realize that difference can mean remembering where you placed your keys instead of feeling lost in your own home. Here's the real secret most people miss. The nutrients in carrot juice are fat-soluble. That means your body absorbs them far better when you consume them with a healthy fat. So if you decide to use carrot juice, this is what I recommend. Use 2 to 3 medium carrots, freshly juiced. Add a small slice of ginger for circulation or a squeeze of lemon for vitamin C. Drink it in the morning, ideally with breakfast, even something simple, like whole grain toast with avocado or a few walnuts, can dramatically improve absorption. When your body gets the fuel it needs, your eyes wake up faster, your focus sharpens, and your day starts to feel clearer. And coming up next is a deep red juice that works through a completely different mechanism. one that's especially powerful if you struggle with brain fog, fatigue, or poor circulation. Let's talk about beet juice. Let's be honest, most people over 60 never connect blood flow with memory problems or blurry vision, but they should, because without steady circulation, your brain and your eyes are slowly starved of what they need most, oxygen. And that's where beet juice becomes so powerful. Beets are naturally rich in dietary nitrates. When you drink beet juice, these nitrates are converted in your body into nitric oxide, a molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. This process, called vasodilation, allows more oxygen-rich blood to reach your brain and retina, exactly where repair and regeneration are needed most. A clinical study published in the journal Nitric Oxide in 2020 found that adults over 60 who consumed beet juice daily showed significant increases in cerebral blood flow, particularly in the frontal lobe. That's the part of the brain responsible for attention, focus, decision-making, and short-term memory. After just 4 weeks, participants demonstrated faster reaction times and noticeably improved cognitive performance during mental tests. Your eyes benefit as well. Nitric oxide helps maintain the delicate blood vessels that feed the retina. This is critical because microvascular damage in the eye is one of the earliest contributors to age-related vision decline. A study in ocular pharmacology and therapeutics in 2019 showed that increased nitric oxide production helped preserve retinal thickness and reduced oxidative stress in aging subjects. What I like most about beet juice is how fast it works. Unlike fat-soluble nutrients that take time to build up, nitric oxide production can begin within 30 minutes of drinking beet juice. That means improved circulation, sharper focus, and reduced eye fatigue, sometimes the very same day. Results vary, of course. But if your afternoons are marked by mental sluggishness, dull vision, or heavy eyes, this could be exactly what your body is missing. Here's how to use it effectively. Take 1 medium raw beet, peel it, slice it, and juice it with a small apple or half an orange to soften the flavor. Drink it in the early to mid-afternoon, ideally between 2 and 4 p.m., the time when mental energy typically dips. You can pair it with a light walk to amplify blood flow. But even on its own, 1 small glass a day can make a meaningful difference. Your brain and your eyes depend on circulation to survive. Beet juice helps restore that flow. Now let's move on to a completely different kind of support, one that works at a cellular level, helping your brain and eyes rebuild from the inside. Up next, blueberry juice. Some foods simply protect what you have. Others help rebuild what time has taken away. Blueberry juice does both. Blueberries are one of the richest natural sources of anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that don't just reduce inflammation. They actively support neurogenesis, the creation of new brain cells. This isn't speculation. A major study published in the Journals of Gerontology, Series A in 2020, found that older adults who consumed wild blueberry juice daily for 12 weeks experienced clear improvements in memory recall, processing speed, and brain activation patterns visible on MRI scans. Researchers linked these effects to anthocyanin's ability to cross the blood-brain barrier, reduce oxidative stress in the hippocampus, and increase levels of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. BDNF is critical. It's the protein that helps brain cells survive, communicate, and grow, and the eyes benefit just as much. Anthocyanins protect retinal ganglion cells, which carry visual information from your eyes directly to your brain. Damage to these cells is a major contributor to age-related vision loss. A study published in Molecular Vision in 2019 showed that regular intake of blueberry compounds helped preserve retinal structure even under oxidative stress. This is why blueberry juice stands out. It doesn't merely slow decline. It supports active repair in the systems responsible for clear vision and sharp thinking. I had a patient named Helen, 74 years old. She told me reading had become exhausting. Words blurred, focus faded. Her mind felt slower. She began drinking blueberry juice every evening. Within weeks, she was back to her crossword puzzles, focused, engaged, and confident again. If you want to try this yourself, here's the simplest approach. Use about 1 cup of fresh or frozen wild blueberries. Blend them with a little water or half a banana if you prefer a thicker texture. Drink it in the evening, roughly 90 minutes before bed. That's when your brain naturally enters its repair cycle. And these nutrients go straight to work. Blueberry juice isn't an overnight miracle. But when your brain and eyes finally receive the building blocks they need, they respond. They adapt, they rebuild, even later in life. And now, we come to the final juice. The one most people never expect, yet may be the most complete of all. Let's talk about spinach juice. Spinach is one of the most underestimated foods for the brain and the eyes, especially after 60. And when you juice it, its impact becomes even more powerful. Spinach is rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, two carotenoids that are naturally stored in the macula, the central part of your retina responsible for sharp, detailed vision. As we age, levels of these protective pigments decline. That's when the macula becomes vulnerable to oxidative stress, inflammation, and UV damage, the underlying causes of blurry vision and macular degeneration. Spinach juice doesn't just protect, it supports functional recovery. A study published in Nutrients in 2020 found that higher blood levels of lutein and zeaxanthin from leafy greens were associated with better contrast sensitivity and faster visual processing in older adults. In simple terms, you don't just see clearer, you process what you see more quickly. Now let's talk about the brain. Spinach is loaded with folate, a B vitamin essential for neurotransmitter production, especially dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals that regulate motivation, focus, and mood. More importantly, folate helps control homocysteine, a compound that becomes toxic to brain cells when levels rise and is strongly linked to cognitive decline. A randomized trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2018 showed that older adults with low folate levels performed worse on memory and attention tests. When folate levels were restored through diet, cognitive performance improved measurably. Spinach also provides vitamin K, which helps maintain the integrity of brain cell membranes and supports myelin, the protective coating around neurons that allows signals to travel efficiently. What makes spinach juice so effective is its synergy. It delivers antioxidants, anti-inflammatory compounds, and essential vitamins together, supporting multiple repair pathways at once. There is one important caveat. Spinach contains oxalates, which can interfere with calcium absorption and may be problematic for individuals with kidney concerns if consumed in excess. That's why moderation matters. Here's the best way to use it. Take 1 large handful of raw spinach. Juice it with a green apple or half a cucumber to soften the flavor. Drink it mid-morning or around lunchtime when your digestive system can absorb the nutrients without interference from heavy meals. Even a small glass can noticeably improve mental clarity and visual sharpness. Now that you understand all 4 juices, you can see how each one supports a different system: vision structure, blood flow, cellular repair, and neurotransmitter balance. Together, they form a powerful, natural support strategy for aging eyes and brains. Next, I'll show you how to put them into a simple daily routine, the same framework I use with my own patients. Now that you know what each of these 4 juices does, the most important question becomes how to use them correctly. The goal isn't to overwhelm your body, it's to work with your natural biological rhythm. Your brain and eyes repair themselves most deeply during sleep, but they also go through predictable cycles of activity and vulnerability throughout the day. Here's a simple, gentle structure that supports those cycles. Start your morning with carrot juice. Drink it shortly after waking, ideally with or just after breakfast. This is when your retina needs vitamin A and carotenoids to reset visual function for the day ahead. If you take medications, have your juice after your first light meal to avoid irritation. In the early afternoon, usually between 2 and 4 p.m., that's your window for beet juice. This is the time when circulation naturally slows and mental energy dips. 1 small glass helps restore blood flow, oxygen delivery, and focus exactly when your brain needs support. In the evening, about 90 minutes before bed, drink blueberry juice. This timing aligns with your brain's nighttime repair cycle, allowing antioxidants and BDNF supporting compounds to work while neurons recover and consolidate memory. Where does spinach juice fit? Spinach works best earlier in the day, mid-morning, or with lunch. Its folate, lutein, and vitamin K absorb best when your stomach isn't too full or too empty. You do not need all four juices every single day. You can rotate. 2 juices per day is often enough. Or focus on one juice for a full week, then switch. What matters most is consistency, not perfection. These juices are not magic cures. They are tools. Over time, they support the delicate systems that modern life and aging slowly wear down. The fragile blood vessels in your eyes, the communication pathways between brain cells, the memory circuits dulled by inflammation and stress. You may not feel dramatic change on day one, but stay with it. Because healing doesn't happen in a single night. It happens when you give your body the support it needs, a little, every day. And that leads us to the final question most people ask. Is it ever too late? If you've made it this far, let me say this first. Thank you. It tells me something important about you. You're not here just for another health tip. You're here because you still believe, or at least hope, that it isn't too late, that your vision can sharpen again, that your memory doesn't have to keep slipping, that your body, even now, still knows how to heal. And you're right. I've spent more than 30 years working alongside older adults, some in their early 60s, others well into their 80s, who believed they had lost too much to recover, too many forgotten names, too many blurred lines on the page, too many quiet moments of feeling disconnected from the world around them. But I've also seen something remarkable. Small, consistent choices can shift everything. A glass of carrot juice in the morning to wake the eyes, beet juice in the afternoon to re-energize the brain, blueberry juice in the evening to support nighttime repair, spinach juice during the day to nourish focus and vision. It isn't a miracle, it's momentum. And often, momentum is all your body needs. If today you decide to try just one juice, just one small change, you've already taken a powerful step forward. Because the truth is, your brain and your eyes haven't given up on you. They're simply waiting for you to give them what they need. And it starts with what you choose to pour into your glass. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this video gave you insight, clarity, or hope, I'd be grateful if you tapped the like button and shared it with someone you care about. And if you want more gentle, science-backed ways to stay sharp and independent after 60, consider subscribing. We release new videos every week, always designed for people just like you. Let me know in the comments. Which of these juices are you most curious to try? Let's keep learning, let's keep healing. And above all, let's keep believing that our best years can still be ahead.